Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to World Team League 2022 Winter Contest Round 7, Day 2, with our second series of the night. I'm, of course, your host, Light VIP. And with me, it's the one, the only, the Catboy himself. Welcome, Rufus. Hello, Rufus. Hello.
He's a bit more grumpy this time. As we do have our lovely patos lined up there.
Yes, exactly. Los Patitos are here and ready to shine, mate. We've got Dolan, we've got Eric, we've got Oreo, PattyMac, just giving the camera a little bit of the look. And of course, our ace players, the Duck of the Stars and Vindicta. We've been seeing quite a lot of them recently. You know, Starduck was playing earlier today, but the big boys are out tonight, and this is the team that we are going to be up against, Team Liquid.
Yeah, there we go. Very strong team there. We got Elazer, Elazer, Clem, and Mana. So I don't think Elazer going to be coming out today. He's having a little break after his lovely 1-1 with Maru, of all people. But we are seeing the two players lined up against each other and kind of cut from the same cloth, these two.
Ah, yeah, exactly. You know, Clem, known from also hailing from the land of Latin America. You love to see it. As, yeah, two very aggressive Terran players. Unfortunately, they're not going to be facing each other. I would have loved to have seen a TVT between the two of them. I remember telling Vindicta that, and he said, mate, you're crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted the TVT. He's like, no, Papi, no, don't do it.
But first up, we are going to be seeing Dolan getting his snipe matchup in the TVP, and call me crazy, I think we're going to be seeing at least one game going his way.
Oh, I want to believe, Papi. I want to believe as he's going to be going up against the man himself, Mana. Oh, a very historic player, one of the best players in all of Poland. I will always remember his WCS run in his own land, in his own country. In that moment, I know Kuro knows that moment where he won. It was his, I think, semifinals match against Violet or Hydra. It was against a Korean player, and it wasn't the finals. It was like a quarterfinals or a semifinals match. And he ran out into the crowd. This was in Poland. Everyone was cheering for him, and then he met up with his girlfriend, and then they hugged, they embraced in this moment, and the camera was like panning around them in a big circle. It was so good. It was so good. He's been around for a long time. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this match up. Mana, as you were saying, a player that's been around for a very long time. He is a well-established Protoss and a very good one at that. So it's a tough task here ahead of Dolan.
Definitely. Courage just confirming it was WCS 2015, a long time ago now. Yeah. 7 years ago. I can't believe it's been 7 years since WCS 2015. Oh my god. But that was an insane moment. But now he's up against Dolan. He's up against the head, the brain of Voltron, Papi. And this is kind of the matchup that he's found the most success in, that he's been able to cause the most upsets in, as spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, representing the Cranky Ducklings, Dolan.
And his opponent in the top right-hand corner of the map, playing for Team Liquid, this is Mana.
Boy, here we go. The TVP, it is what Dolan wants. But at the same time, how deep are his pockets, you know? Because this is something that I worry about. When you televise your matches so much, so often over the course of a season, your opposing players, they have a lot of like replays, a lot of games to watch over and to try and study you.
Mate, he's got the brains. He's got plenty of builds. You know, when you look at him in the camera down there, he's actually not sitting closer to his camera than Mana is. He's got a giant brain.
His brain does look pretty goddamn big. Not gonna lie, mate. Oh my god. You think it's an optical illusion? You know, is there some camera trickery going on? Nah, mate. His neck is just built of steel. Somehow he keeps his head up, keeps it upright, and yeah, I wonder what shenanigans he's going to have in store for us here, as he does go for the full wall off, and actually opens up with one gas.
Wait, those shoulders are like gyroscopes. They're just balancing his head on top of him.
Oh my god, he's insane, Bob. He's insane. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he does intend to open up with the CC. It looks like the Marine is going to be able to take down this probe. And there is that base on the high ground.
Yeah, that probe just overstaying its welcome a little bit is going to be taken down, and definitely a little bit of a mind game coming out from Dolan. Maybe playing a little bit on his reputation here is making it look like a double gate build, and you already see Mana scouting around for proxies, trying to check if it might be like an extra proxy racks or something like that. That's already paying off for Dolan, as it will be quite a while before Mana gets eyes on what exactly is going on.
Yeah, you love to see it, Papi. He is in the brain of Mana, and you don't want something that big inside your head. Oh my god. Meanwhile, we do see that again as Mana is looking around the edges of the map. That's the thing about Dolan, right? Is that even though he's hyper aggressive, oh my god, he's actually doing something I haven't seen in a while. He's going for a 3 racks.
Yeah, so just going into this 3 racks, a nice little continuation of that one gas just means that he can get back onto mining those minerals as well. So a little bit more of an economic opening. At the same time, we see this adept ducking in. He's going to be seeing that bunker at the front here, and that has to make him think that Dolan will be looking to take an expansion here.
Oh, yeah, that should be the tell. We have some SCVs on the low ground as well. He all but sees the CC as it floats towards the natural base. So Mana can now rest easy, recognizing what is happening, recognizing that it is a little bit more economic as he tries to slip into the main, to get a scout.
Yeah, but he won't be getting that scout yet, so has no idea that it's a 3 racks. I will be expecting to see Dolan just rallying a few of those units back into his own main, just so he doesn't give away what it is that he's going for.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to try his best to keep Mana at bay. We do have the Adept moving out. The Marines, unfortunately, barely missing that Adept as well, so won't be able to get any damage on it as he does back off and load up that bunker. Meanwhile, across the map, Mana opens up with a Twilight Council, followed by that Robo, so no Stargates here.
Yeah, just going into the Blink and Robo. This should be very safe against anything that Dolan would be going for, especially any kind of all-ins. But looks like Dolan is going for a very standard 3 racks, and it's going to be up to Mana to decide how to hold this once he works out what exactly it is. It's going to be very important for the Stalkers to be meeting this out on the map and skirmishing with it across the map.
Yeah, exactly. Like the big thing with this build, of course, is that you have to be very conservative with when and where you stim. So slowing this down, chipping away at it, and picking off any Marines is going to be a win here for Mana once he gets eyes on it, and he will when the Adept does spot these Marines.
Yeah, here we go. Those last couple Marauders coming out do signal the time to go for Dolan. Nice quick reactions by Mana is going to be able to get that Adept out of there, and he will know to get his Stalkers as quickly as he can across the map. We see a couple batteries going down immediately out of Robo Bay, so a little bit of panic coming out from Mana. Does know that this is going to be a tight hold with that third on the way up.
Oh, exactly. It was just a little bit too greedy for Mana. We shall see. Stim is done, but Dolan hasn't stimmed yet. It looks like the Adept across the map has finally been dealt with. Do you see the shield batteries on the way? It looks like they're going to finish up in a couple of seconds, but they're not ready yet.
Yeah, we see that scan going down. He's going to be able to stim in, get right on top of that shield battery. The overcharged battery going down immediately, and there is a lot of probes going down right away. We do see Mana pulling those back, but already 9 probes going down. A lot of Stalkers going down as well.
Oh my god, exactly. It looks like Dolan has run out of steam. He is going to get cleaned up here, but the damage was real. 9 workers, not bad here. Not bad. It is enough to get him a little bit of that worker lead.
Yeah, worker lead in this matchup is huge. You're not usually expecting the Terran to be anywhere near the workers of the Protoss, usually behind like 10 to 15 sort of thing, just to account for mules. But we do see Mana, he has to get across the map now. He has to get some counter damage done.
Yeah, the bunker is still up and running. We have more Marines on the way. We have Medivacs as well. What's interesting is that Mana has actually decided to skip Colossi. He's going Disruptor first instead.
Yeah, this is very interesting. This can kind of go either way. It's a bit of a risky play. I think he realizes how far he is behind and realizes that he needs to have a little bit of a comeback mechanic sort of thing going. So if he can go out into the middle of the map with this Disruptor, get a nice big shot on the army, he might just be able to snowball that into a victory.
Yeah, high risk, high reward. We're gonna have to rely on Dolan and how good his splits and how good his attention is. He's gonna be moving out once again. As his army does move out, it is spotted by this observer, and that's gonna be the moment here for Mana to blink into the natural.
Yeah, so he's going to be running in. That tank is really well placed. Good job by Dolan just to get that tank out after the 3-rack should be able to keep him safe from anything. But it looks like our observer, unfortunately, just missing that shot going down. That's exactly what Mana was looking for. Huge amount of bio being lost there.
There it is. 5 Marines and 4 Marauders. Not like this. I mean, at least Dolan does get the Disruptor, but that was a massive loss there.
Yeah, this just takes all of the steam out, all of the wind out of Dolan's sails, and this means that Mana, he has the freedom to just tech up to get those extra gateways. Even going to be taking out this medevac here.
Yeah, now Colossus production has commenced here for Mana. He's got his disruptors, he's diversifying his splash damage. Dolan is forced to back on up. But does he really intend to take a third base here? He's continuing tank production. He's going to be moving out once again. Get some damage done on these Stalkers. It looks like he'll be able to get one for his troubles.
Yeah, and he does have a little bit of a timing here. He might be able to get in here before too many of these warpins are done. The charge is still quite a ways off, so if he can just rally some extra tanks, rally some extra units in here, maybe even some Vikings, he should have a timing now.
Yeah, but the Observer sees everything. The Disruptor's getting in position. Bearing in mind, I think we have one Disruptor. We see a scan on that army. Does confirm the positioning of the Protoss. And, Dolan has to try to find a way. But right now, he just can't. Mana just keeps up with every single time his army moves out.
Yeah, you see the tanks going into the medevacs. He's going to be able to drop those forward, but they are a little bit too far forward. Nice decision there, Dolan, to pick them back up and get out of there. I love that.
Yeah, that was very quick moves there, making sure he doesn't lose anything too needlessly. Meanwhile, we do see the extended thermal lands only just now starting. We have the second Colossus on the way as well. Dolan is pushing up this ramp, but that Disruptor is still waiting for him.
Yeah, that scan as well catches the Observer, but he doesn't actually kill the Observer. I'm not sure if he saw it.
Oh my god, meanwhile, he just completely deletes that Colossi. It was within tank range. Meanwhile, he's steaming on forward. That Disruptor, Mana being very patient.
Yeah, the Disruptor is going to be shot off, and Mana getting a big surround here as that charge finally finishes up, but not really that many Stalkers. The bio of Dolan a little bit overstimmed, but he is going to be able to trade out quite nicely here.
Oh, yeah, he's going to try and get on top of this Colossi. We do have Overcharge to keep it alive. Nice focus firing on that Disruptor, but the Zealots, the Gateway Army, is going to be enough to force Dolan back for the time being.
Yeah, this bio terribly overstimmed, really needs to get out of there, and Dolan does get on out of there. So the suppliers are not too far off. We do see Mana with a very slight economic lead as Dolan just moving around, trying to find a way back into this one.
Yeah, exactly. That was a pretty close fight, all things considered. He was almost able to break that Colossi. I was really surprised with how Mana was handling that situation. But as time goes on, Mana, he's got a third base. He's up 20 workers. Like, Dolan is pretty all in here. He just now starts his third CC, but I don't know if he really planned on expanding.
Yeah, we do see him going into the Vikings here, so he has one last chance to make this work. Once he gets towards the 6 or 8 Viking count, he will be able to try to poke back in, try to take out some of those Colossus. Looks like he's going instead for medevac, so maybe gearing up for a big Doom drop here.
Yeah, we'll see if he can pull it off. I mean, he did just scan and take down the Observer, so Mana's going to have a harder time keeping up with the army. The Observer did more than pay for itself, and it was beautiful here for Mana to just be able to keep up with everything that Dolan was doing. But now we do have an opportunity as, Zealot Run by is headed towards the natural.
Yeah, this Zealot Rumba, I think, is actually looking for a third, so that's a little bit smudged for Dolan there, but it is going to realize that Dolan is quite all in there, so I think Zealot's going to be wrapping around, trying to get the catch on the army. Nice army movement by Dolan, though, does pick up on this.
Oh, exactly. Oh, hot pick up on that tank as well as able to keep it alive. All these Zealots are going to be going down, and now it's going to be go time here for Dolan. He has quite a large army. He's going to be able to take a third base behind this, and there are too many Colossi. Again, because Mana was like a little bit, I don't know, a little bit careless with some of his robe units earlier. Like, he hasn't like necessarily snowballed from the early game.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we do see Dolan is getting into those ghosts, so just wants to wait for that timing. Just going to get that EMP on the extra EMP range on the way as well. So, going to be looking for a big ghost timing here. I think he's not. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be looking for 2-2 here. Just a big 1-1 ghost timing is going to be his last hurrah here, and does have a very good chance to get something done there with the tank and Viking count.
Yeah, I mean, mate, look at the Marauder count as well. It's insane. He's making not like 3 Marauders at a time, but yay. So they're going to make short work of those Colossi. I'm just worried about do we even have a Disruptor anymore? I know they were focused down earlier, but if we don't, like, I do think that Dolan has a chance.
Yeah, there might be 1 or 2 more. We do see them being made 2 at a time now of the double robo production from Mana, and Mana just closing down the map for Dolan, taking a lot of that vision and just sharking back and forth.
Yeah, there we go. We have the scan on the main army. There is one disruptor with the Protoss Death Ball. As you were saying, we have more disruptors that are going to be waddling across the map here to reinforce, but they're not here yet, as Dolan is trying to find a way to engage.
Yeah, Mana would love to get in through this choke point over here. Looks like Dolan, realizing that he wants a little bit more open space here, is going to be taking out those rocks and might be able to slowly siege forward, but Mana is rotating around, starting to threaten that third, and I think we will be seeing a big fight coming down very soon here.
Yeah, meanwhile, I don't know if you saw, but 2 more disruptors just joined that main army, so we have 3 in total right now. Dolan is going to be able to get in position here. He is going to be able to siege up these tanks behind the rocks.
Yeah, these tanks are in a really nice position here. The Vikings are going to start poking forward. Those disruptors coming out a little bit early are going to whiff, and only 2 more disruptors here. So Dolan does have a little window here. Another disruptor whiffing there. So he's just going to dive on in there.
Oh my god, 3 disruptors go down in an instant. There's only 1 disruptor remaining, but the Zealot run by across the map is going to be able to deal devastating damage. The base is going to be going down. Dolan's going to go for it.
Yeah, every probe going down. These tanks are going to be starting to crawl forward. Medevac's getting some healing going down on this bio. And if that tank, if they can lift into the main, that could be a very nice spot. But instead going to be attacking over here. The Vikings get a very nice angle. And the army for Mana a little bit split up here.
Yeah, a little bit split up. The production is under threat. The Robos are not going to be able to finish. One Nova goes off, but it gets focused down.
Yeah, fantastic EMP coming out from Dolan, and he has broken up the armies a little bit. Mana is going to be converging, trying to get the surround here, but Dolan, wise to it, just going to be backing off to the safety of those tanks, but his natural is completely decimated.
It really is, but you know what? The Robos are now depowered. What you see is what you get, but that's a lot of Immortals, that's a lot of Colossi, and it looks like there just may be too much Protoss. He's coming in from behind with those Zealots.
Yeah, Zealot's getting on top of the tanks. He is going to need to focus down these Colossus. The Colossus go down. The Archons are going down as well. Vikings being landed in the main, but these Immortals are doing so much work against the Marauder army of Dolan. And it just looks like Dolan lost a little bit too much, has lost that critical mass that he needs to deal with the Zealots.
Yeah, he almost just overwhelmed Mana right then and there. But unfortunately, that Zealot run by, it took down everything at the third, and it took down everything at the natural. You know, those Zealots basically have secured Mana the victory here. We do see that Dolan, though, he is kind of reinforcing, is getting ready for a last hurrah for one other push. Can he make it work, though?
Yeah, a little bit of a desperation push on the way here. Has all those units left over. Really doesn't have the economy to reinforce, and every moment that ticks along is a moment that Mana can get another one of those warpins, can get those Robos back up and going. So, yeah, Dolan just has to send it right here, right now, and here he goes. He is marching up towards that third base of Mana.
Yeah, he is on the way. He's landed his own third. We see a scan to recognize what he's going to be running into. Oh my god, Mana setting up for a bit of a surround of his own. Does get spotted by Dolan.
Yeah, so Dolan is going to be pushed in through this choke point. We do see a very hefty Zealot count coming in from Mana, and it's going to be so hard for Dolan to find a way to push in without being converged upon by this army. He's going to be pushing up towards the left. Doesn't want to get pincered here, though.
Yeah, exactly. He's being pulled left and right now. He doesn't want to get surrounded. We do have a couple of EMPs connecting with those Archons, but what about the Zealots? We do have a hot pickup on that tank to barely keep it alive, but he just can't unload. He can't siege. He's going to try to.
Yeah, he's kiting back as far as he can. Takes out a lot of these Zealots. The Zealots are trying to get on top of the army, but this army is so overstimmed. These Medevacs just not getting a chance to heal it up, and there are still more Zealots. We see the Archons charging on forward, and if these Archons can get on top, this splash damage is just going to decimate this overstimmed bio.
Oh god, it really is. Another EMP is going to focus on every single one of these Archons, but it's not going to be enough. GG gets called, and Mana takes the first game.
GG, we see a deep breath out of Mana. Very close there by Dolan. Definitely putting Mana in some threatening positions more than once there.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, there were 2 major instances, one at the third base of Mana and the other when he was trying to break in towards the natural, where Dolan was so close to breaking Mana. Oh, so close. It's just such a shame that as these pushes were happening, again, Dolan was losing his economy across the map, just forcing him in an all-in position, making it that much more difficult to transition if his push didn't kill Mana.
Man, you know what happens now?
What
Dolan,
happens now? Stargazers.
Yeah. He knows the strategy. He picked up on from that last series. He was watching Team GP. He does the TGP strategy of losing that first game to pick up the second, but instead we're going to be seeing Moondance, and this is very interesting. I think he's going to have a tank push prepared for this map.
Yeah, so as you were saying, it looks like he plans to go for the team GP maneuver. You know, he's gonna try and make things look close in game number one, and then bam, come in with game number two. At least I would hope so. I appreciate that he's not overusing stargazers. He doesn't want to be predictable. He doesn't want to do the same thing time and time again. So Moondance could come out of left field here, but again, like still like talking about that last game, like I want to give some props to Dolan because he came so close, man. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that was insane.
Yeah, absolutely. He was really hanging with Mana there, and he did create a lot of uncertainty there with that tank push. Mana, yeah, losing a few of those tech units, losing those disruptors, losing those Colossus a little bit lightly, but just managing to get the Zealots on top of the tanks at the perfect time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god, the Zealots. It's just the Zealots. What more can be said? They attack, they defend, they're amazing. They're exactly what Mana needed at the time. And you know, I'm sure he's gonna be pretty happy with this 1-0 lead here. But you know, after sweating a little bit, maybe he's gonna take Dolan a little bit more seriously. I don't know how familiar he is with Dolan. I know Dolan does ladder on EU.
Yeah.
I don't know if the European players are. Yeah, I don't know if they know him.
They must. They have to. But here he is, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, the Cranky Duckling himself, the head of Voltron. This is Dolan.
Oh, and his opponent in the top left-hand corner of Moondance, representing Team Liquid, Mana.
I will say, I'm guessing for them, he's just kind of like that NA Terran.
Yeah. Dolan who? He's that guy.
The NA guy.
The NA guy. Yeah. He's the NA Euthermal. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what Dolan has prepared for us. I know you have your own predictions of a tank push coming out here. If you recall, I believe the last time we saw Dolan on this map, he did go for like a proxy 1-1-1, right?
I don't recall. But we do see he's going for that wall off once again. Mana actually going for a pylon scout this time, so getting that probe in very early, avoiding that wall off. Is going to be able to get a full scout, and is going to be keeping an eye on what Dolan's up to, trying to see if he goes for that orbital, if he's taking off gas at all, if he's getting his factory. So this is going to get a lot of scouting here for Mana, as we do see Dolan just slipping out one of these SCVs.
Oh yeah, the SCV does slip out of the main base in towards or out towards the rest of the map. Also, when I said proxy 1-1-1, I was actually thinking of Elazer. I don't know if you remember that game. I think it was a TVT actually against Maru. Was it? I can't remember. When he went for a proxy gateway, but then he went for the factory follow up. But the factory was outside the third.
Oh yeah. Proxy Jirax with the factory and the stopper.
Yeah.
He kind of
That's what I was thinking.
Again.
He did die.
But yeah, we do see for Mana, he's going to be throwing down that pylon next to the factory. This is something that I've had done to me a lot doing this build, and it's really annoying. Because they just see what's coming out of your factory. They see if it's a Hellion or if it's a mine drop, and it makes it really easy to prepare for what's coming their way. Yeah,
exactly. It's very smart here of Mana to make use of that probe, and we can see the threat of the probe as well, being able to throw down that pylon and get an even further scout as the game goes on. For the time being, Dolan, you know, he's just expanding, throwing down his CC, forced to make a Hellion here, no add-on. Smurge, Bobby, Smurge.
Yeah, so that pylon just going to scout that unit coming out of the factory, especially if Mana knows the timing. So he is going to be able to get eyes on that and know that there isn't a mine drop coming his way. And yeah, it's just very annoying just having that constant scouting going down in your base.
Oh, definitely. Meanwhile, we do have Double Reaper sneaking into the main base of Mana. He's going to be able to get one probe for his troubles. He's going to get behind the mineral line as well. And I believe he already did get eyes on that Twilight Council, so recognizing the opener.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get one of these Reapers out as well. So a little bit of a mist shade coming out from Mana. So we just see this Hellion dipping in as well. Going to be getting a couple probes itself. So nice little bit of damage here from Dolan. But I think this is a very good response coming out from Mana. He's going to be looking to proxy, I believe, a gateway over here. Get a little bit of his pressure of his own.
Yeah, Blink is now, sorry, the Twilight Council is already done. There's no way he throws down a Dark Shrine. He goes for the Dark Shrine. He's an animal puppy. Oh my god. The entire time, that's what I was thinking. Oh god.
Yeah, cancels out that blink, goes for the Dark Shrine, and Dolan getting a couple more probes here, but doesn't get the rescout. And
Oh.
yeah, this could be pretty rough for him because he is going for one of these Rax Factory Rax pushes that have been so popular lately. And Mana getting good eyes on that. He's going to be very confident going in for this build. I think this is going to be extremely rough for Dolan to hold. He's not going to have a Raven, not going to have turrets, anything like that. He was going for a sharp tank push.
Yeah, it's all gonna come down to his scans. Like, there's no rhyme or reason for Dolan to scout the left-hand corner of the map and look in that direction here. So he's not gonna be ready at all for those DTs. Perchance, he may have his army back at home in time for them, and he may have the energy for scans. That's kind of best case scenario. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
And Mana as well, seeing that he went for the add-on, not going for extra mines, can be pretty confident that it's going to be a tank push. There's not too many other things that should be. And that means that he can start getting his charge up straight away. So this build that Mana's going for just counters what Dolan's doing so hard right now. It's going to be very difficult for Dolan to make anything happen with this push.
Oh, definitely. Meanwhile, we even have a little bit of friendly fire. Some splash damage. 3 SCVs are going to be going down. The DTs come in, but has Dolan he sees? Oh,
Yeah,
can he get it?
quick scan going down there. He's going to be able to take out one of those DTs. He just dropped mules, though, so he's going to have to evacuate that natural.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose any more of his workers. Is a wall? It looks like, it's not a wall!
But is he trapped in there with you? Or are you trapped in there with him?
I don't know. We don't have a scan, puppy. We're trapped.
There we are, 5 energy off a scan, so there's going to be a lot of SCVs going down. In the meantime, we do see the eBay being started up. He is finally going to get that DT, but not before 5 SCVs go down. And now his natural still can't be retaken.
Yeah, still not being retaken here. We got another turret on the way, but the DT is not going to let that happen. And this may just be the killing blow here for Dolan. Like, the more DTs are flooding on in, we're going to have a missile turret here on top of the ramp at least, but there's going to be no mining at the natural.
Yeah, there's no nice way about it. This is a really rough position. This mining time is really going to add up, and he's even able to pick away at some of the different pieces here. Looks like he actually did have an eBay here already, so maybe he just forgot about that and then built another eBay.
It's possible, mate. It's possible that he was very frazzled after what had happened. He now has missile turrets at the natural and in the main base, so now he's going to be safe and sound. Does he want to try and hit this push, though, as Dolan is even supply blocked? Oof.
Yeah, I don't think he has any other option, to be honest. This DT scouts it, it sees it coming out. We're going to be pulling the SCVs as well, so really nice choice there to give up the natural, but he's going to have to save scans, and I'm really worried for him there because I think he only has 2 scans, and Mana can just send DTs in one at a time. He might even be able to hold off this push with what he has here, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, DTs are going to be insane, and oh boy, we'll see how this push ends up going here. He's going to try and break on forward. Did you see the Immortals? The overcharge as well behind this just to bank or top up those Immortals if they are ever in trouble, and nah, mate, he's just pushing this all back.
Yeah, Mana just feeling very confident with those Archons, with those Immortals. He can take some bad trades here because Dolan has no economy. He's just going to power on through and gets the win for Liquid. So GG, and nicely done by Mana there.
You love to see it. GG, well played. Again, a very solid game from Mana in game number 2. Obviously, game number 1 was a lot more up in the air, and there's a world out there where maybe Dolan takes that and we end up in a 1-1 scenario, but oh god, yeah, game number 2 was brutal. Mana just had the read on everything that Dolan was doing.
Yeah, exactly. Mana definitely just hard countering everything he was doing, being so annoying with those DTs. Dolan getting a little bit unfortunate as well with the scan timing, the way that all worked out, but just very well played by Mana, honestly. So unfortunate for Dolan to not get that first game, and that does put us into a pretty rough spot going into the ace player of Team Liquid. It's going to be Clem.
Let's go, Bobby. PattyMac versus Clem. Another PVT, but the races have been reversed. Clem, he's a pretty good player. He's a European champion. He is good at what he does, of course. But has he ever gone up against someone of the likes of PattyMac?
That is true. No, actually.
What are you gonna say? Are you gonna be like? Has he felt the tip before?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. And I stopped myself and you just said it. So there we go.
Has he felt the tip of Voltron? Is that legal? Can we say that? Can we? I don't think we're allowed to say that.
I mean, you just did.
Oh my god! I'm just quickly looking at their results, looking at their history.
I thought you were gonna look up Clem's age.
Mate, what's wrong with you, mate? Oh my god, animal, Poppy, animal. I'm sure he's legal. But looking at the history in 2022, they faced off once this year, and it was an ESL Open Cup number 116 Americas, and it went all the way to the ace match. Went to game number 3 here. Yeah, that's the only time they played.
Okay. Oh. And I bet PattyMac remembers what happened.
Oh, I bet he does. You know, Clem, I'm sure he shook it off. I'm sure he just went to bed and thought it was a nightmare. As he is 20, he's 20. Man, he's 20 years old. He's an old man, Bobby. What are you talking? Clem is older than PattyMac. Oh my god.
Is it?
I think so, maybe. Oh my god. He doesn't look it. Let me just quickly check here. I know we have stats going
allowed in the club.
No.
He isn't, is he? It's kind of a problem.
He is in Europe. He is in Valencia. He is in Valencia, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we're not animals. Quickly checking. Okay, so Clem was born in April and PattyMac was born in September. So Clem is technically older than PattyMac.
So PattyMac is going to use this young blood to outpace Clem. He's going to out-multitask him. Clem's going to fall apart.
He's going to fall apart, Poppy. Like a little bit of a tangent, but that's crazy to think that Clem doesn't look 20.
No.
Doesn't.
No, he looks like PattyMac's little brother here.
He does. Oh my god.
Looks like PattyMac's going to like kind of, grab him around the neck, give him a noogie.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Again, they did go all the way to the ace match the last time they faced, but that was in a best of 3. This is going to be a best of 2, so it's going to be a little bit different here. And map 1 is going to be Stargazers, PattyMac's least favorite map.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's rough. I'm hoping that he's got something special prepared for this. He has known for a couple days that he will be facing Clem on this map, so he has had time to prepare his dirtiest, nastiest cheeses. I want to see Blink DTs in the back, just charging on in. I want to see charge all in with the Blink DTs. I want to see Clem get smoged. For the first time, for the only time, for this one rare moment, I want to see a sad Terran.
I want PattyMac to bring the NA to Europe, Poppy. That's what I want to see, and he's done it before. We'll see if he can do it again. PattyMac, he's an amazing player. He's great in his own right. He's one of the best players that North America has to offer. A little bit underrated, and he has had a little bit of a harder time. But I want to remind everyone that last week he almost took a game off over. He was winning against Raynor. Yeah. He was straight up winning against Raynor. And then Raynor just went Super Saiyan and just microed his heart out with Ling run bys, just constant Ling run bys. But like PattyMac, he's got it in him. He does.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that I worry about for PattyMac here. That there is that kind of X factor when it comes to players like Clem, the best players in the world, where even if you do get the build order win against them, you get into a very good spot against them, they have this like will to win, this multitask that can just get them out of these crazy situations. But PattyMac playing Protoss, man.
He's playing Protoss. He's got a will of his own, Poppy. Hashtag PattyMac in the club. Allegedly. Oh my god. As he's gonna be looking to prove himself here. Stargaze is gonna be a bit of a harder one. If you weren't here for the first couple of weeks, this is the map that he vetoed for the longest time and had very little practice on. What I will say is that, for the past couple of weeks, he has been actively practicing on it to make sure that that's no longer a major weakness that he has, but it is a weakness nonetheless.
That's Sun Tzu. He did say that where you are strong, you want to appear weak, and where you are
Right.
weak, you want to appear strong. So maybe this has all been leading up to this moment. He's actually been throwing games on Stargazers
Yeah.
and telling people that Stargazers is his worst map because
Oh,
he wants to lure Clem into a
yes.
false sense of security. Because Clem's been watching all the VODs, of course.
Yeah. He's a sub to
And
the
Clem's
channel.
going to be like, oh, Stargazers, no worries. Easy. And then he's going to charge on in there, and PattyMac's going to like, surround, destroy everything, murder.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to be happening. It's almost as if you've seen this series play out. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Stargazers representing the Cranky Ducklings, we have PattyMac.
And in the top left-hand corner, in the red, playing for Team Liquid, this is our Terran Clem.
Here we go again. Oh, the probe.
Gonna counter rush him.
He's gonna pull a prince, puppy. Oh my god.
Ah.
Oh, no cannons here, mate. Oh, it's Clem, mate. He's got like a new hairdo. Oh my god.
Yeah. I've seen it a few times recently. It's interesting.
Is it a new hairdo? Is it Clem out of bed hair?
And he just hasn't had a haircut in a while. PattyMac, he's got the cap. He's got the American tourist cap going. I love it.
Oh, yeah, let's go. The cap is on. The hoodie is not, so he's not in that peak smoging position. Not yet, but he does have it available to him if he wants. He's quite fond of that hoodie, by the way. I think he wears it almost every week.
Nice. As someone who wears the same clothes all the time, I can relate.
Yes, I can as well.
As we do have this probe just scouting around very early, probe just running in, being super annoying here. Is going to be able to get some damage on the SCVs and actually taking down an SCV. That's pretty nasty, actually. Like, that's definitely better for the Protoss.
Yeah. Oh!
Wait, what? What? No?
Okay, never mind. It looked like PattyMac laughed to himself after that happens.
Yeah. He popped off a bit, yeah.
So we have the 1-for-1 trade there on those workers. I can't quite tell if it was a laugh or not, but it was something. It was something.
Noob.
he whispered to himself. Oh my god. Chobo, puppy, chobo. Oh my god.
Meanwhile, this is Reaper coming out across the map. The ever so famous Clem Reaper going to be tearing it up in this, man.
Oh, there we go. One probe already going to be going down here. We do have a Stalker on the way, but before that happens, how many more of these probes are going to go down?
Yeah, we are going to be seeing an extra probe going down. We do see him jumping back in there. Going to be taking down that gas probe. So 3 probes going down. This is really rough for PattyMac. Oh, and he misclicked.
Oh, the misclick, Poppy. Not like this. Oh, that Reaper was one shot away from going down. And now because of the regen, the Reaper is going to get away.
Yeah, this is not a player who's Reaper you want to keep alive, especially when they give you that little gift there, almost giving away the Reaper. And yeah, that's pretty rough for PattyMac. I'm not really sure why he didn't have his first unit in position for that either. I don't know if he has an adept halfway across the map or something like that. But yeah, he is going into that robo now.
We do see him going into the robo opener. PattyMac actually looking to set up to maybe even expand and take a faster third base as well. There we go. Goes for the third.
Yes, this is an extremely fast third just off that one gate here with the one robo. This is an NA classic, a bit of a rocket classic. We do see PattyMac, just going full NA on Clem, and Clem, he needs to find this sooner rather than later.
Yeah, meanwhile, that first Reaper still alive is going to dip in towards the natural base, going to be able to take down another one of these probes. Oh my god, the Hellion going to be able to finish up a couple more. And this is getting out of hand. Finally, the Hellion is going to go down, but the Reaper still lives.
Oh, the Reaper doesn't go down once again, and he's going to be dipping back into the main. Does it get out of there as well? So this Reaper just causing so much strife for PattyMac.
Yeah, can PattyMac shut this down? It looks like the Reaper's going to be able to get away once again. Does get up into that main base. Stalker repositioning. It looks like finally the Reaper is going to go down, but he was able to scout that robo.
Yeah, a lot of scouting going down. Does scout as well the lack of a gateway, so we might be able to piece this one together as we do see him just going into a very standard tank-based 3-1-1. He's going to be setting up defensively back in his base, so just going to be waiting for all those for all those upgrades to line up with the stim, with the combat shirts, with the +1, none of which are actually started yet.
Yeah, the Rex is still on the way. We're gonna need a couple of add-ons as well to help power that through. So I have to wonder, especially because the Nexi hasn't been scouted, that PattyMac is gonna get away with this greed.
Yeah, very interesting. We do see him croning out that Zealot legs right away, so
Oof.
we'll be looking to get into that charge. Does have the Watchtower as well, so yeah, it's absolutely going to be on Clem to see if he can get an eye on this. But yeah, we see that gateway count ballooning, and if PattyMac can survive up until those gateways are finished, up until those charges finished, he's actually going to be in a really nice position here.
Yeah, he's going for a mass swarmed hostile. He threw down 7 gates, by the way, in addition to, I think it was only the one that he had earlier, so 8 gates in total. That's a lot of gates, Papi. That's a lot of charge lots. That's a lot of units. And again, Clem is giving him a lot of breathing room, a lot of freedom to do as he pleases. Finally, we have all those upgrades on the way, as you were talking about, but again, they barely just did start.
Yeah, and there we go. They are just starting up now, so that does mean the push of Clem is still going to be just a little under 2 minutes away, and that is plenty of time for this charge to finish in, for all these gateways to kick in for PattyMac, and this is where PattyMac can just start aping, doing that full NA style, just sending in those zealots one after another, and abusing that little boost that he has in economy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure what he really wants is to try and fight this army out in the open, or even try and deny the third base for the time being. That we have a scan. Clem finally, for the first time, getting eyes on this third Nexi, recognizing that it is fully saturated.
Yeah, he's going to be seeing those extra gases going down, so it is go time for Clem. Meanwhile, we do have PattyMac with this extra little gateway set up in the back, so if he does...
Oh, he cancels.
Oh, nice. I love that. He's going to be canceling those, so just throwing Clem off the scent even more. Looks like he is hiding the fact that he's going for this massive Zealot warp in, so just trying to catch Clem off guard that way. Clem maybe thinking it was a robo, and yeah, Clem's slow to react here.
Oh my god, exactly. One medvac already gonna be going down here. The tanks are being focused down as well, and Clem is losing everything.
Wow, I love that play coming out from PattyMac. By taking the extra gases, he makes it look like he's going for a robo build, but in fact, he has this huge amount of zealots ready to catch a tank push. If Clem knew what was happening here, he wouldn't have moved out with his tanks, and I think PattyMac is doing it. The zealots are getting everything in there, and PattyMac takes the game off Clem, and he's playing it cool. He's playing it cool.
Gee, he couldn't do it. He couldn't remain stuck the entire time. He had to laugh at the end. GG gets called, and PattyMac takes the first game against the ace player for Team Liquid.
Yo, what a Chad. That was the perfect strategy. Went full NA on him. Those extra gases as well, just throwing Clem for a loop, making it look like he's not playing this kind of gate ape style with all the zealots, with all the stalkers that you're not meant to move out against with a tank push, and Clem totally falls for it. Even slow to react, because PattyMac goes into the main and gets the warp in at the same time and distracts him at the perfect moment.
Exactly. Clem thought that he wasn't up against an ape, my mate. We know better, Papi. PattyMac going full NA with the mass charge lots, completely pulling him apart. And also Clem just being a little bit scared, at least in the beginning. So it was really smart of PattyMac to open up as greedily as he did. Again, I'm sure Clem, as the superior player, wanted to play it safe because he didn't want to die to anything aggressive that I'm sure he assumed PattyMac would do. So very nice mind games, very smart play from PattyMac.
Yeah, especially I've been in this position of Clem before as well, where your Reaper and your Hellions popping off, you get like 6 probes, you're like, I'm owning this guy, he's just going to fall apart to my first push, and you just kind of stop thinking about the game at that point.
Yeah.
I think I'm not saying that's exactly what's happened against Clem. I know he's a very strong tournament player, but there are those moments where you feel like you're so far ahead that you just don't really need to worry about what your opponent's doing anymore. But yeah, PattyMac getting a huge win here.
A massive win, mate. I'm sure he's happy about that. Again, like, God, I feel so, like, PattyMac, he's, like, on the cusp of breaking out into, like, the best that NA has to offer. Like, he was so, like, sad last week when he lost to Raynor. And, like, I'm like, mate, Raynor's literally top 3 Zerg in the world. Like, don't feel so bad. Feel good that, like, you almost beat him, you know? You were doing so well. And for him to literally beat the best Terran in Europe right now, or at least take the first game anyway, like, this is huge. Like, this is insane for his career, for his just, again, I don't know, like, trophy case or whatever. Like, it's a solid victory.
Yeah, I mean, Clem arguably number 2 Terran in the world at the moment. This is a huge win for PattyMac, and I hope this will eclipse what happened with Raynor as well. And yeah, PattyMac just posting some very nice results in the last few months as well, even taking that 2-1 over Scarlet in those NA qualifiers for Atlanta. And you know, Atlanta on the horizon. Could be more.
Could be more. Could be more. Atlanta is 1 week away, and PattyMac will be there, will be a part of it. But now we are getting ready for game number 2, and Clem, I'm sure in a position that he's not usually in, it's his map pick.
Yeah, and he picks inside and out. Not surprised at all by this, but at the same time, I don't think PattyMac minds too much. I don't think PattyMac is afraid of the smaller maps.
Yeah, if you remember, Inside and Out, this is actually the map where PattyMac actually was able to bring down Clutch versus Battle B in the ace match against Berserker Esports in WTL. Oh, in the qualifiers for WTL. Oh my god. That was he'll do it again.
Well, I think on this map he's definitely going to be going for the 2-gate opening. I say definitely. It's probably not the best idea against Clem. That is an opening that's very much based on out microing your opponent. But at the same time, he could catch Clem being a little bit greedy. Double gas has been in the meta for a long time. There is even the potential for PattyMac to go for a proxy gate with this and catch Clem not scouting.
Yeah, definitely. Like, he could try and catch him not scouting, could catch him off guard here. It's difficult, right? Because now PattyMac, he can't go for the Team GP maneuver, you know, because he won game 1, you know. so he's in a difficult position. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to him being aggressive out the bat here to try and like knock Clem off kilter. God, there's so much that we can do.
Maybe Clem going for the Team GP maneuver, going for the losing the first game to catch PattyMac off guard. PattyMac's like, oh, this guy's easy.
Speaking of here, he is in the bottom left-hand corner representing the Cranky Ducklings. It is PattyMac.
And is spawning up in the top right-hand corner of the map. Playing for Team Liquid, this is Clem.
Oh boy, here we go, and PattyMac has already done the bare minimum. Regardless of what happens, he has knocked Clem out. He will bring him down with him, so hopefully the pressure is off his shoulders for the time being, but we'll see how much further he can go. We'll see if he can somehow make it a 2-0, papi.
Yeah, can he look to get that 2-0? It does look like he is going to be going for that 2-gate opening after all, so he is going to be looking to maybe catch Clem off guard if Clem does fail to scout, which it's not really common to go for a scout with a double gas opening. This could catch him off guard.
It really could. Oh my god. Hopefully, PattyMac doesn't let the nerves get to him here, you know, trying to play it cool, trying to trying to make sure he's unfazed here in game number 2.
Clem's jolted. He's like, why did you wake me up for this? God damn it.
Put me back in bench. Why isn't Elazer here instead? Aye.
Yes, we do see Clem making a little bit of an adjustment to his opponent. I really like this, going for the rack scout here. So he is going to be able to catch on to what PattyMac's doing nice and early.
Yeah, exactly. Thankfully, not going to be avoiding that scout. Is going to get eyes on the double gateway and going to be able to prepare for it back at home. So PattyMac won't be able to get an early or a cheeky lead early on. I mean, you were talking about it yourself that it does still come down to the micro and the control of the 2 players. And bear in mind that we are now in the land of Clem. We are now in the land of Europa.
Yeah, exactly. We just see this Reaper going straight across the map, but it might actually be getting caught out by these Adepts. If it does take a shot from the Adepts and they shade after it, they will be able to take it down.
Oh, exactly. But you know what? Here we go. Immediately, the Reaper does see the shade. He will back off. Oh, left a little bit idle for a moment there, but we'll take one shot. We'll get away.
Yeah, and actually the way that PattyMac is hiding his second Adept, I have to wonder if Clem actually went up and saw that gateway. He is going for a second Rax after the factory, so this is a very safe opening coming out from Clem.
Very safe indeed. It's all on the high ground, so these Adepts shouldn't be really dealing too much damage whatsoever, and the Reaper is going to be able to get across the map and get a follow-up scout.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we do see PattyMac starting to put some pressure onto this depot. We'll be able to take some SCVs out as they come to repair it, as we do see this Reaper being chased down once again, and Yeah, this is going to be pretty nice from PattyMac, but Clem just calculating he will have enough time once this Cyclone comes out.
Yeah, the Cyclone is now out. We have a lock on as well. The Adepts are actually going to try and slip in towards the main base instead. Does take down one of these Marines, but it looks like won't be able to get an SCV.
Yeah, so just getting the damage that they can. Really intelligent move there by PattyMac. Not just going to run away and get kited, but going to get a little bit of damage at the same time. We just see this Reaper once again popping in, putting some damage on these probes. We'll be able to take out at least one here. Just running around this Nexus, chasing away these units, and we'll be able to get into the main for another probe.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be able to get into that main base. Doesn't get a probe yet. Ooh, and the Reaper will go down.
Yeah, the Reaper goes down, and we do see a few more Adepts coming out. We see that Blink being croned out as well as the Robo. 2 more gateways on the way, so does look like he is going for the build that he used against Battlebee here. He is going to be going all in on 4 gates, and it's going to be very important for Clem to have his tanks in the right positions here.
Yeah, 4 Blink Stalker. Let's go, papi. We already have 1 tank on the low ground covering that natural base. We have the 2nd tank on the way, going to be going into the main. I don't think Clem has fully sussed this out, as I don't believe we have a bunker. If you wanted to be just double safe here, so it is going to be cutting that corner for the time being, as PattyMac is getting ready to move out.
Yeah, these units are positioned really nicely for Clem. We'll have the 2 tanks covering each other, but that does leave a little space in the main for PattyMac to jump in and start rotating around. I think he will be looking to warp in that dead space anyway, so definitely a few elements to the defense of Clem missing here. Doesn't have the wall off at the front and doesn't have his main completely covered, so there are some openings there for PattyMac to exploit.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Observer is going to be coming in to spot those openers. We'll see if Clem does notice it, does recognize it, and does go for a bit of a scam to try and shut it down. Stalkers are just getting map control, just making sure that they're not missing anything. Going to be able to take down one of those Marines out in the middle of the map. And, ooh, Clem unsieges the tank in his main.
Yeah, we do see a small reposition. PattyMac going to have to be really careful as well to avoid this Cyclone. But yeah, scouting out the 3rd tank, he's going to have to be extremely careful here. Clem playing it extra safe, definitely aware of what's going down.
Yeah, and PattyMac's in position to actually expand as well. He doesn't have the minerals for it. He does go for another massive warp in of the Stalkers. He's trying to find a way in. Does recognize, oh, maybe the tank on the low ground is a little bit exposed. Again, we don't have any bunkers. Meanwhile, we do have the scan, and the Observer goes down.
Yeah, the Observer going down. PattyMac going to be jumping right in here. I don't know about this decision. He's going to be able to take down 2 of the tanks, but going to be losing a lot of Stalkers along the way. Actually snipes out the Cyclone, forces a stim as well. That's a very costly stim with this starport so far away.
Oh god, exactly. He gets 2 tanks and a Cyclone, but he does lose that Prism and the Observer, so any more aggression is not going to be here. If he had high ground vision, he could maybe try and blink in once again and get the tank in the main base, but that will not be an option.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about PattyMac's position here. Once these 2 medevacs come out, this Bioball is going to be able to stim across the map, and there is just not much in the way of splash to deal with it.
Yeah, we do have a robotics bay on the way, so he's going to try and get into Colossi production. 3rd base is behind this as well, but PattyMac has to try his hardest to contain Clem. He has to try and get eyes on this drop and maybe even intercept the medevacs before they get across the map.
Okay. Yeah, I think short of intercepting the medevacs, but Clem can just walk straight across the map.
Yeah.
He's going to start pushing these Stalkers away right away. The medevacs are going to come here to reinforce. So PattyMac going to have to try to snipe out some of these Marauders on the way in here. He's going to get that Observer there and is starting to skirmish with the units. But yeah, this is a very scary spot for PattyMac now, just waiting for his tech to kick in.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He needs to wait a little bit longer here. It looks like, oh, these Stalkers are going to be able to get behind the army. Can he get the tank? Ooh, hot pick up there from Clem.
Yeah, nice pickup. Not able to get the tank, not able to get any damage on the medevacs either. So this tank going to be able to set up position on this 3rd, and this is going to be a very rough hold for PattyMac. I think he might have to give up this base.
Oh my god, exactly. It looks like this 3rd base is going to be going down here. The tank positioning is just a little bit too good. PattyMac, unfortunately, we do have to wait a couple of seconds here before charge finishes.
Yeah, we do have the stim being forced out, but that Nexus is going to be going down. We do see PattyMac committing to that fight anyway. A lot of these Stalkers being focused down, but the Zealots are going to be running on in. He has to be careful with these mine shots.
Oh my god, he has to be careful. The mine shots, though, are insane. GG gets called, and Clem fights back. Oh, and he ties it up 1-1.
Yeah, Clem taking a pretty comfortable game too, but PattyMac can be very proud of that performance there.
Oh yeah, very proud indeed. Like taking that first game and going one apiece against Clem is not an easy thing to do. So yeah, I'm very happy here for PattyMac. Likewise again, I don't want to bring it constantly, but again, Dolan in game one against Mana as well. Like they are putting up their fights here against Team Liquid, but now it's all gonna come down to series number 3, Vindicta versus Elazer.
Yeah, that's right. It comes down to this Vindicta versus Elazer, and I know Vindicta has been preparing hard for this. He's been studying Elazer. He's been going through replays. I even sent him a few replays because I had some from Wardy's folder, but he is going to be searching through those, studying his overload pattern, studying his habits, trying to eke out a little bit of an upset win here. And if he can get the 2-0 over Elazer, that would be incredible here. And he might get that game against Clem after all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this, especially because Vindicta, I would have to look at the history in the World Team League Code S, but he just hasn't. I don't think he's been able to play against a single Zerg. Like he just keeps getting Terrans and Protosses. Like he just hasn't had the luxury to really showcase his TVZ and how good it really can be.
He got Tudming at one point.
Did you get Tudming at one point?
And then in the Code A qualifiers, he had a sick game against Mio Micro, if you remember those games.
Oh, yeah. In Code A, he played against me. Mike he played against Gurka Joy, but like Code S proper, like you know, Cham, when we played against Team GP, Cham avoided him. Just quickly double checking here against IAG, he played against Max said, like he against Onside, he played against Rex, where he had a really good showing, don't get us wrong. But finally, he can play against Elazer.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a top flight Zerg, one of the top Zergs in Europe, just behind that level of the Raynors, the Serals of Europe. So Elazer, a very stiff test for Vindicta, but I think he's up to the challenge.
Oh, I think he is up to the challenge indeed. As I'm just double checking here. Here we go. Looks like we have our maps. Game 1 is gonna be on the land of the Americas. Game 2 will be on Europe. I do know that Vindicta is on the western coast of the United States, so playing on EU isn't the easiest thing to do, but I'm sure Vindicta he can overcome.
Yeah, I mean, he spends a bit of time on EU already. He's gotten a little bit used to the ping. He does quite well on EU as well. So, yeah, I think he'll be looking to make the upset win here. Very excited for this one.
I am excited as well. Just quickly checking the Liquipedia. It looks like map 1 is going to be on Waterfall. Waterfall, a very interesting map for a TVZ.
Yeah, Waterfall's a pretty, I want to say, asymmetrical map, where you do have the advantage for the Terran that you have a much smaller base count and a much smaller map in general in terms of the rush and the overall size. But at the same time, it has proven to be a map that's very strong for Zerg because of the massive open area all throughout the center. So it's very hard to find a good fight as the Terran unless you manage to force them to fight in one of the chokes right at the edges, which can be kind of hard to do.
Oh yeah, it will be difficult to really pull off. We'll see if he can bring it out here. Oh my god. As I'm just checking some things. Actually. So I was just wondering, I was getting a couple of messages here. We're actually waiting for Elazer right now to show up.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully not having issues with the famous Polish internet.
Yeah. I mean, Mana was here earlier, so hopefully everything is okay with the internet over in Poland. Also in Europe, it's not that early either, so don't have to worry about waking up in the early hours of the morning for our matches. And hopefully Elazer is able to be here for our games, because this is something that I'm sure everyone is looking forward to, and it wouldn't be very satisfying if it becomes like a walkover win or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree. I'm sure as much as it would be exciting to see the Ducklings going on to an ace match, Vindicta definitely wants this game against Elazer. He wants to show what he can do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure Migs, Vindicta himself, would be disappointed if Elazer doesn't show. He wants to prove himself here against some of the best that Europe has to offer in the Zerg race. Oh boy, so I'm really looking forward to it. I wonder what Vindicta has planned. Obviously, I don't want you to reveal too much, but we do know that Vindicta has a lot of versatility. You know, he has really strong bio play, really strong bio timing, and he is willing to play mech if he has to as well.
Yes. Yes, he definitely is.
You're like, I cannot say anything. He is a Terran. He is good. Thank you.
He's going to make a man with the gun at some point. Will the man with gun have stim? We don't know.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's gonna hit a stimulus timing. He's crazy, puppy. He's crazy. So yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. All of this come together again. Oh my god, there's a world. Imagine a world where if Vindicta did take the 2-0 here, like, oh my god, Dolan game 1. So close, so close. I do think we got a little bit lucky there with the TVP as well. I do know that is his speciality, and it's interesting that PattyMac was able to take a game off of Clem because I could be mistaken, but I was under the assumption that PattyMac's, worst matchup was PVT. Maybe I'm mistaken in that respect, but yeah.
So you're going to say you are under the assumption that PVT was unwinnable? it seems that it isn't.
Unwinnable, Poppy, unwinnable. Oh my god, but yeah, it's one of those things where we see his PVZ more than anything else. So it's really cool to see him flex in some of these other matchups.
Yeah, exactly. So, this is going to be a big game if it happens.
It's going to be a big game, and we have confirmation. Elazer has woken up. He is here. He is ready to play it out, to duke it out for his team. But before we get to him, Migs is here with that beautiful face looking at the camera. So is Elazer. Let's go.
Yeah, there we go. Elazer getting the nod there when it comes to the offense. Which I have to agree.
Should his macro take a couple of hits because of the Elazer Lords?
He doesn't do that anymore. Leave him alone, Bobby.
Mate, I casted a laser during the Polish tournament. The same thing happened, Poppy. The same thing happened. What do you mean? What do you mean?
So rude.
Oh, God. Look, it's hard to break old habits here, and maybe that's something that Vindicta is going to try and exploit. Maybe he's going to go for a timing just to kill Overlords.
I mean, there is a build that Uthermal came up with. It's kind of
that.
that.
Oh, God. What? What?
Well, there's the Hellbout build. So you have like the Hellbout landed Vikings. And then you lift the Vikings up and you like shoot down all the Overlords.
Oh, my God.
I believe.
Uthermals.
It's crazy. It's not a... I say it's not a good build, but he beat Ragnarok with it.
Yeah, he beat Ragnarok with it, Anything is possible, Poppy. Anything is possible.
You can do anything against it.
You can do for free, Poppy. Look, I'm glad you're coming around, mate.
Yeah, as we do have this game just being lined on up, and Waterfall is the first map. That's a very interesting map. I think it does play a little bit towards Vindicta's strengths, where he does kind of want to, establish his 4 bases, get towards that 5th, just turtle on up, pitch that tent, get those MiGs Liberators harassing from every angle, get those drops coming in here and there, just playing for that longer game with the constant harass.
Oh, mate, you think the game is going to last that long, Papi? I don't know, man. I think with the first buyer push, it's going to come out, and I don't know if Elazer can stop it, Papi. But no, I look forward to it as well. Like, regardless of what we do get ahead of us, I always love casting Vindicta's TVZ specifically. We've had so many good games already. Almost every Vindicta TVZ is just fire, and I'm sure this isn't going to be any exception.
Still think Waterfall's a Terra map, don't you?
Prove me wrong, Papi. Prove me wrong.
Goodness.
Oh my god.
I hope you're proven right. Just this once. We can go back to normal after that.
Mm-hmm. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. I see everyone getting ready in the chat as well. I believe predictions are going to be open for this series, so you have a little bit of time to, place your bets here on who you think is going to win. I believe Kuro has predictions open on a game-by-game basis, not a series basis. So, yeah, got more chances to get them channel points.
Yeah, you can vote for the win for Migs twice.
Oh,
And get paid twice for the 2-0.
let's go, Poppy. Let's go. I also want to give a shout out to WoodKid05 in the chat. A little bit of a shout out for subscribing for 34 months. Oh my god.
Nice.
That's a lot. That's almost 3 years. Wow.
That's longer than I've been alive.
That's longer than Migs has been alive. Ay. That's a lot of months. But his message was, I love the Ducklings, but Liquid has my loyalty across all IPs. I'm sorry. I understand. Team
Fair
Liquid,
enough.
they are deeply rooted in StarCraft. I mean, TL.net, the Team Liquid website, like everyone uses it for all things StarCraft. So I don't blame you. They do have a lot of love for us. They have a lot of support for StarCraft. Unfortunately, we just have to beat them.
Yeah. We apologize for what you're about to see done to your beloved Team Liquid. It's not going to be pretty. You're not going to enjoy it, but it has to be done. Vindicta, he does what has to be done.
Yeah. I mean, it's already not been pretty, I mean, PattyMac has already kind of knocked Clem down a little bit. I'm sure the EU boys aren't gonna let him forget about that. Oh god.
It's already been posted in the balanced discussions of the Oz Discord.
There you go. Of course it has. Oh god. Just adding more fuel to the fire, Puppy. More fuel to the fire. Oh god. So it's great to see, and there we go. I was concerned whether or not we had our players, but spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Waterfall, representing the Cranky Ducklings, it is Vindicta.
And his opponent in the top right-hand corner of the map, playing for Team Liquid, it is the Polish Zerg, Elazer.
It's been a long time coming. Elazer, he was scared. He was worried. He didn't want to show his face, but he was dragged out into the light, Bobby. He has to face his fears.
Oh no, a little bit of nervousness coming out from Vindicta, just pulling all his SUVs back onto the same patch. So just a very slight hiccup there. Not gonna be the end of the world, but just does show that he is a little bit nervous for this game.
Oh, it's okay, mate. It's okay. He's got his hoodie ready.
He is ready to smudge.
He's ready to smudge, Bobby. If he needs to, it's go time.
Yeah, meanwhile we see Elazer kicking back against that Zerg meta and having an extremely well-lit room.
Oh my god.
Is that allowed?
Does he know that he plays Zerg?
Does he know that he gains extra power from being Omega Dark in this full, all-encompassing room smooch? True.
I mean, this may just be another advantage here for Vindicta, I can already see that the light doesn't, Elazer, he doesn't want to be in the light, Bob.
It's hurting his eyes.
As we are getting into our game, so far standard openers here, Hatchgas Pool from Elazer, Vindicta likewise. Other than the small slip up early on, nothing too crazy has commenced here. No proxies or anything like that.
Yeah, and are we going to see a nice, confident 3cc coming out from Vindicta? Is he on the Clem copium that he has given to all us TVZ players? The 3cc Banshee is actually winnable.
It is. As we do see Vindicta heading towards the triangular third base. He's already got an SCV at the linear third and does force a gas to be taken from Elazer. So nice little win there. We'll get the base in the end, but does force a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, causes a little bit of a delay there as well. Also, a really important thing with that SCV block is you do get to pick the base that the Zerg is going to take. That does help you set up for your harass later on, especially on a map like Waterfall. Bouncing between this third and the main with your drops can be really annoying to deal with.
Definitely. In this matchup, mate, the Zerg, you think you get to choose what the third is? Nah, mate. Terran choose for you, as he is going to be going for that 3cc opener.
Yes, they're going for that 3cc after all, which I'm really happy to see. Shows a lot of confidence coming out from him. Is happy to play out a mid-game against Elazer here. So I love the confidence here. Also, do you know what server this is being played on?
America.
Sweet. So yeah, I think he will be looking to play more of a standard bio game.
Oh!
Does go
Oh.
for the snipe there and gets the Reaper out as well. Nice little win there. See a little cheeky smirk coming out from Elazer. He knows that he's got done there a little bit. He knows he's in
Yeah.
for a game now.
You know, it's over, Poppy. He just got done dirty by that Reaper. Nicely done by Migs, by Vindicta. Meanwhile, as you were saying, of course, since we do have a little bit of a ping advantage from Vindicta here in game number 1, it makes the most sense that he will play the most straight up here. That may change in game number 2 when we get there. But for the time being, 3CC is the name of the game.
And we do see that Miko scout coming in, just going to be sending that Ling in to get a full scout of the main. Beautifully timed there. Even sending these Hellions for a little chase around, and we'll be able to scout the 3C and the Banshees. So I have seen a few times, we were actually talking about this when we were looking over Elazer's replays, that he does sometimes like to go mutas as a response to 3CC Banshee. Might be a little bit harder on this map because it's a smaller map. But there's definitely the possibility there for a fast muta response, and we do see that layer going down.
Wow, as you say it, mate, you have read him like a book with that fast lair that does signal two fast mutas. We'll keep an eye on the gas counts, as so far Elazer has seemed to avoid his Evo Chambers and his Baneliness. There we go, Baneliness finally thrown down here just to be a little bit safer. Meanwhile, Vindicta going to be rotating between the bases, going to get eyes on this fourth.
Yes, it gets an eye on the fourth here. We do see the gas going down for Elazer. So a few options here as Vindicta can go into a more standard game. There is the option as well to try to punish this with an 8 racks 3 base all in. That will be one way that you can try to catch someone going a little bit greedily into mutas, but definitely a few different options here for him to go into.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, first things first, he does have to scout this. He does have Banshees available to him, but I love that Elazer actually took his 4th gas at his 3rd base, not his main. So depending on what you see, you may not realize the exact gas count that the Zerg player is going to be on. Meanwhile, Banshees headed towards that 4th base, and instead of a Spire, we have 2 Evo Chambers and a Baneling Nest. Elazer doesn't go for the mutas yet.
Yeah, there we go. Elazer going to be playing things out a little bit more standard, a little bit more safely, but we do see Vindicta jumping in here with his Cloak Banshees. This is something we have been seeing a little bit more often in the meta, where if you do find some queens a little bit out of position from each other, split into those 2 groups, as Zergs often do, you can just fight them with the queens and with the Banshees, but he is instead going to be backing off. Very well timed run by here, but the Hellions come back home to defend, and looks like the wall is a wall for Vindicta as well. Lovely defense here.
Wow, yeah, I thought that maybe the Hellions were a little bit too far out on the map, but we are talking about Waterfall Edict. Again, it isn't the largest, it's quite a small map in the map pool, the smallest even, so he turns back around and only loses 2 SCVs.
Yeah, so nice job there. Does deny a little bit of time, mining time with those Banshees, as well as getting some damage on the 4th. We'll just be backing off, throws down that scan, sees the lair as well. So it does look like things are all going according to plan, as Elazer is making a lot of Banelings here. Possible that he likes to go a bit more aggressive just because of this small map.
Yeah, exactly. The Banelings are being morphed in right outside the natural base. Meanwhile, that scan was pretty crucial because, again, Vindicta did realize that the gas wasn't taken in the main base, so he knows that it shouldn't be mutas, that it should be something else, a little bit more aggressive on the ground. The Banelings are rolling on forward, and Vindicta, does he see?
Yeah, we do see Vindicta just starting to reposition some of those units. Those Banelings are going to be getting in towards the SCVs here, but only 5 SCVs going down. Disaster averted there a little bit for Vindicta, but he does need to start getting into his transition here, getting those medevacs out, getting his attack on the way. It does look like he has been, thrown off a little bit just by the aggression of Elazer so far.
Yeah, exactly. He has stumbled a little bit in his way here into the mid-game. But again, at least he hasn't lost too many of his workers. Now he can finally be a little bit more aggressive on the map, clearing out a couple of these creep trimmers. Lings are here to meet him, though, and that creep is getting a bit out of control.
Yeah, this is another feature of this map because it's so small, because of that open area. Very easy to take the map over with creep, and it does often result in the Terran player just being kept back on their first 3 or 4 bases for a very long time.
Yeah, we'll see if Vindicta can break free and get his bases up and running and somehow stem the tide of all this creep. We just see another scan ahead of time. Does get eyes on this 5th base. The Lings are here to respond. A lot of Lings are going to be going down, though.
Yeah, really nice trade with those lings, and this is where it is possible Elaser's going to start to be stretched a little thin. We do see he has a huge force over to the left there, but Vindicta does have the possibility to start opening up for a double prong attack.
Oh, exactly. Here we go. His main army is pushing through the center of the map. You know, with this double jump, he's just feigning aggression into the main base, doesn't commit to anything, just wants to distract Elazer as he does open himself up to clear up that creep in the middle.
Yeah, just clearing out some of that creep. Will be looking to threaten the base down to the bottom right. Of course, Elazer right on top of his Lingbane is getting that 2-2 on the way. The 2-2 just a slightly bit ahead for Vindicta as he does get his fourth base on the way as well. So just going to be playing this out very standardly, which I do like on this map. You don't really want to be going for a big aggressive push with such open areas.
Exactly. You don't want to force, maybe even a bad engagement and then a massive counterattack as a result of that. So he's just going to be poking, prodding, dancing, flirting with the creep a little bit here. We do see a couple of Marines dropped in towards the third base, just distracting Elazer as more of the creep is being cleaned up.
Yeah, these medevacs over to the right here, a constant threat, and here, over on this angle, this is a very nice angle to be pushing in through, but Elazer, he is getting on top of this army. Vindicta actually managing to pick up a lot of those Marines, got a huge mine shot on those Banelings before, and his Hellbat's in a lovely spot there.
Yeah, exactly. Vindicta making the best out of a bad scenario, but again, I'm sure he wasn't expecting us around there. I'm sure he still wanted to keep the majority of this army alive. The Banshee going to go ham on this base, but Vindicta is forced to turn around, and again, a lot of those creep rumors were still active. We still see more creep being spread in towards Vindicta's side of the map.
You see that red drop going down. A huge amount of lings here for Elazer. Just going to be going pure ling bane here for the moment. We just had that infestation pit going down. But yes, there's a way that a lot of Zerg players have been playing this map. Just going pure ling bane to take advantage of the open areas and just to make sure that you have control of the map at all times.
Oh, exactly. Meanwhile, oh my god, a Widowmine shot is going to take down the majority of these things. Second shot should clean everything up as well. Oh my god, the Widowmines are insane!
Yeah, beautiful retargeting there from Vindicta, getting some huge value with the Widowmine shots, and that does mean that there's a lot less lings as all of those counter-attacking lings did go down. Suddenly this base is under a lot of pressure. He has lost the medevacs here, but he will just be able to take down this base.
Oh, the hatchery does go down alongside 13 of those drones. We do see a Liberator head towards the fresh base. Unfortunately, even if it did siege up, there weren't any drones to kill there available, but Vindicta has forced his opponent to back off. He has bought a lot of breathing room, and now 3-3 is on the way.
Yeah, 3-3 on the way. So he does have this little timing where he has 2-2 and his opponent doesn't. That timing has already closed, so not even really worth mentioning. But we do have these mines poking on forward. He is lacking a little bit on the mine count, so just needs to be a little bit careful as he goes forward, as he does catch the burrow. That is something that Elazer very commonly does, as another massive mine shot goes off.
Yeah. Again, these mines have been carrying Vindicta here throughout this entire game. They've been insane. The retargeting has been crazy. At the same time, the Liberator rocks up on the right-hand side. 2 of these drones are going to be going down as it does reposition here. Oh, but it does also mean that Vindicta's aware of burrow, and he will have to make sure he has scans available before he pushes onto creep.
Yeah, we see that classic Vindicta Liberator is being set up there. The Migs lives, something he's very known for, the constant harassment, using his speed just to kind of out-multitask his opponent, keep harassing them. Beautiful splits coming out there, keeping all those Marines safe.
Oh, exactly, but we have 3 borrowed Banelings behind the army, but it has to be so careful. Oh, there we go, they do go off on those Marines.
Yeah, nice shot going off those Marines, but he will continue to trade. Very nice mine shot, taking out the rest of the Banelings. Does re-drop there. Isn't quite going to have enough to clean this up, but with that Widow Mine coming in hot, he's going to have to realign his army to try to get this 5th base up.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be rotating over towards the right-hand side of the map. Instead, the Widowmines have survived. Detection wasn't here in time. 2 Liberators headed over towards the left-hand side, but the Queens are in position to meet this, and Vindicta almost getting surrounded.
Oh, big surround coming in. Those mines are going to hit big, very good mine shots, but also very good Bane shots. And this is a spot where things can get a little bit dicey for Vindicta. He has to protect his mineral line here, as there's a lot more Banes coming in.
Yeah, exactly. Lings, they're wreaking havoc over at that triangular throat. At the same time, double libs are going to be able to take down every single one of those drones. 6 drones going down.
Yeah, Vindicta, he is so incredibly fast. It's one of his big strengths as a player, and it's something that is really important in the TVZ matchup, as well as these Liberators are getting so much value over here, taking so much attention out of Elazer as well. And he, even amongst all of this, has time to get up his turrets, get his base down. He is establishing a 5th, and this is a huge win condition for the Terran on this map to get this 5th up and running. Another big mine shot going down.
Yeah, more Banelings going down essentially for free. We do have a couple of scans just to make sure we have eyes on the tech, whether there is an Ultra Cavern, whether there is a greater Spire. Spire's going to be able to buy a little bit of time here for Elazer to rotate over with the rest of his Ling Bane, but Vindicta's going for a massive push on the right-hand side.
Yeah, Vindicta has been doing such a good job having constant pushes going on both sides. We do see a lot of Ling Bane over here for Elazer, so Vindicta going to have to be very careful. But huge mine shots going off again, and he is taking beautiful trades here.
Mate, in the blink of an eye, Elazer just lost 40 supply. Oh my god. The supply plummeting here for Elazer as Vindicta is just trading too damn good. The drop on the left-hand side finally is going to be cleaned up. Didn't really have too much longevity there, but Vindicta is breaking through on the right.
Yeah, that drop on the left side actually getting cleaned up by some burrowed Banes there, but the burrowed Banes, they are no match for the burrowed Mines, and Vindicta, he has a huge supply lead here. He has his 5 bases, he throws down the scan, he's not being caught out by these Baneling Mines, and he is looking to push on to victory here.
Oh, exactly. He's breaking on through. Elazer in a move of desperation is going for a run by instead. He's running into a tank. He's running into a couple of reinforcements. If he can force Vindicta to turn around, that this will be worth it, but the reinforcements are going to be enough to clean this up.
Yeah, there's more than enough to deal with this. He's even going to be able to bring it back a few of his units. He does have the Ghost on the way. He has to be really careful, get the pick up there, as he is starting to bait the units into the mines, and a bit of a miscontrol by Elazer is going to be taking another massive mine shot.
Oh my god, even then, towards the end, another mine shot goes off. Elazer is just not having the best of times here. In the midst of that fight, he does borrow a couple of Banelings to help defend this right-hand flank, but Vindicta is just rotating over to the left-hand side instead.
Yeah, Elazer absolutely desperate to hold on. He has these queens, he has these spines here on the way, but there is just so much here for Vindicta. Nice little split coming out there from Elazer. He's able to prevent the damage, but we do have this Ghost Lib Mine style. This is a style that you can go for when you do have the momentum, something that Clem has been showing us. And yeah, we see Elazer having to divert all of his forces over to the left to try to deal with this.
Yeah, I mean, Elazer was out of position. He just wasn't anywhere near this location to defend. The hatchery is going to be going down. The Liberators are reigning supreme in the air. We do have a couple of barred Banelings on the right-hand side, but even these handful of Marines are getting damage done, and he's getting on top of the base.
There's just too much split here. There's just too much here, and Vindicta just has too much. He's taking down the win, and he gets one on the board. 1-0 against Elazer. Yeah, he knows what he just did there.
Let's go. GG. Vindicta not even breaking a sweat there. Able to defend beautifully and completely pull Elazer apart.
Beautiful game there, and that was set up by these constant huge Widow Mine shots. Vindicta really doing a great job throughout that game. A lot of retargeting of the Widow Mine shots as well, not always just the Widow Mines getting their own shots. I know he does like to put a lot of priority into having the attention to do that, and we find ourselves 2-3.
Yeah, we find ourselves at 2-3 right now. So, again, Team Liquid, they still have the advantage because of the 2-0 earlier on. Vindicta has to take this series 2-0 to bring it all the way to the ace match.
Yeah, exactly. But that was a game where he looked very confident, very in control. I am a little worried, though. Now we have our next map. It's going to be on Europe, and it's going to be on Elazer's map pick.
Yeah, exactly. There's no vetoes available here in this format. Elazer can pick and choose what he wants to play on. I'm sure he's going to want a larger map to have more breathing room. And here we go. Yeah, Cosmic Sapphire. Yep.
All right. So we did look at a Cosmic game. I think Mix is going to play Mac.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he's going to play at a ping disadvantage. It's a large map that you can cut in half. I don't want to see it, but he may have to. It would make sense. It would make sense on Cosmic.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few different options. This also would be a good map to go for that 8-rack style, and I think this is a map as well that it's much more likely for Elazer to go mutas in response to a 3CC Banshee. So if Vindicta is confident with how that last game went, and he just wants to do something similar again, maybe go for a little bit more aggression if he does catch on to the fact it's mutas, I think he's going to be riding the high off that game. It's going to be a little bit harder, of course, on Europe, but I'm sure he's brimming with confidence after that last one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he really is. I mean, we saw the eyebrows, Pappy. We saw the looks that he was giving the camera. It's the reason why we call him the Shaft, Pappy. So getting ready for game number 2. What I want to know, though, what I'm curious about, is, once we get back on camera, is Elazer gonna dim the lights and put up the hoodie? Is he gonna pull a Scarlet?
I mean, he has to. If he wants to win.
Yeah.
He needs to be in the dark. That's where Zergs do their best work.
Yeah. We need to embrace the dark, not so much the light, if we want to excel in Zerg as Zerg. That's why I do so poorly. But yeah, we'll see what kind of changes we have made here for game number 2. Again, like a large map, because of how intense game 1 was, makes plenty of sense here for Elazer. It's going to be harder for Vindicta if he does choose to go for a 3cc bio style, to have that momentum to pull him apart, to go for all this multi-prong aggression.
Mate, you were just meant to be a Protoss. That was what was meant to happen, but here we have a Terran spawning in the bottom right-hand corner in the blue. This is our American playing for Cranky Ducklings. This is Vindicta.
And in the top left-hand corner, representing Team Liquid, we have Elazer.
Who? No, I'm joking.
Calm down, puppy. Calm down. You can't say that until he gets too old, okay?
Okay.
Rein it in, Poppy. Rein it in.
Okay.
Oh boy. But alas, now that we get our cams going, the lights, maybe they're a little bit dimmer here, but the hoods have not been taken up.
Oh, yeah, Vindicta doesn't even have to show its full powers. Yeah, the Observer, he loves it. Yeah.
Quack, let's go. Oh my god, the Observer just showing off here the ducks. And I believe I saw PattyMac in the chat earlier. I think he was bringing up a factoid here, which is a little bit smudged but true nonetheless. And I believe that is that so far in Code S, the Ducklings haven't been able to take more than a map a series until now, until Team Liquid.
There we go. Very nice.
Yeah. Exactly. We just had to wait until we got one of the easier teams, you know?
Yeah. We just needed an EU team.
Yeah, we just needed Clem. That's all we needed, mate. That's oh my god. But alas, you know, we are now getting into the swing of things here. Standard openers, hatching a spool from our Zerg. Nothing too crazy. Now before we get into this, are you going to hold on to your guns, your prediction? Mech Puppy.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh god.
I mean, it depends on what his mindset is going into this game. I'm not sure how much he practices mech against Zerg. I know his mech against Terran is extremely good, but his mech against Zerg is not something that he brings out quite as often. I do think that his skill set does suit really well for TVZ bio style.
Yeah, I 100% agree. You know, it's difficult to be as active as Vindicta is with mech units instead of bio. Meanwhile, there was a nice move there from Elazer. He does pull his worker away, does avoid that Reaper, and is able to get that third base up nicely on time.
Yeah, nice little adjustment there. Vindicta is going to scout that out, so not going to be worried about anything like a very quick roach push coming out, as we do see Elazer just starting everything up very standard, very normal so far. Meanwhile, for Vindicta is going into that standard 3cc setup, so so far everything pretty normal, but actually going to be going for a second factory here, so it's going to be a blue flame opening.
Wow, yeah, the second factory is hidden behind the mineral liner in that main base. This isn't all in by any means. As you were saying, it is still a 3cc opener, so there is a transition point afterwards, but a very aggressive start, and we'll see if he can keep this hidden from Elazer.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the ways that Vindicta does like to go into mech, so I'm feeling very confident that he is going to be playing out a mech game now, as we do see him, completely unscouted, is going to be working his way on into this blue flame. And for Elazer, he's a player that stylistically very heavily enjoys Ling Bane, and that does mean that he's probably, especially on a big map, not going to be playing roaches, and this should be very good for Vindicta as this scouting Ling does start to move in and will be taken out.
Yeah, it doesn't get into the main base, does get cleaned up by these Hellions, so he's well aware of the 1-1-1 opener. Meanwhile, there is that blue flame on the way for Vindicta. Very sneaky. So far, Elazer still hasn't caught wind of this.
Yeah, Observer knows her stuff. Very nice. As we do have that Hellion dropping in, is going to be putting on a little bit of pressure there. Does take out one of these creep tumors here. Might even be able to start attacking these rocks to try to find the other creep tumor, but no, just going to be moving around, getting this economy up and going. As yeah, there we go.
Ah, you love to see it. Even targeting the rocks here to take down the active creep tumor. It will be going down. Meanwhile, once again, Elazer, just like the last game, he is going to be going for a faster lair. This does delay Evo Chambers. This does also delay our Baneling Nest as well. Baneling Nest just now starting up a little bit faster than the last game, but is it going to be in time for the Hellbats as Blue Flame is about to finish up?
Yeah, this is lining up really well for Vindicta. We do see all of those extra gases going down all at once. These Hellions are actually trapped. I really hope he notices.
Are they trapped or are they banked up? Is there a way out for them? Is there? There is, right? Yeah?
I don't think so.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, they are.
Yeah. He's banking them, Poppy. What do you mean? Calm down. Okay. you got me worried for a moment.
Yeah, but there we go. It is go time. All the Link Scouts have been cleaned up. This creep is very far up, but as the observer is indicating, there is no whisper of this whatsoever for Elazer. Meanwhile, we see a very interesting mech transition coming out from Vindicta, actually opting for a third factory before his starport. 5 factories before his starport.
Yeah, 5 factory Hellion Cycler. Here we go. The Hellions are diving on forward with Blue Flame. They do finally reveal themselves. Every single one of these things are going to be going down. We do have a couple of Banelings on the way, though.
Oh, not the best trades coming out for Vindicta there. Losing a lot of those lings. Hasn't been able to get on top of the drones there. And takes out a lot of the lings of Elazer, but yeah, not the greatest trades there.
Yeah, the queen positioning was just a little bit too good. The Hellion volleys were very staggered as well for Vindicta. So again, this opener hasn't really paid for himself. He has shown his hand. He's forced to back off, and Elazer doesn't lose a single drone.
Yeah, exactly. But this is a very interesting transition coming out from Vindicta. Definitely quite offbeat. Skipping out on those upgrades, going very, very fast into these 5 factories. So he will have a very strong ground push coming in.
Yeah, that he will. He's also clearing up a lot of this creep as well, just trying to slow down Elazer, just trying to keep that map control out. But there we go, 1-1 is on the way. Bathing Speed's about to finish up as well. We have a very fast Magfield accelerators. Oh, and this is, the Cyclones at least are being scouted here by Elazer.
Yeah, Vindicta so quick there, sees that changeling trying to come in for a scout. He's going to be throwing down the scan, so he sees the lack of a gas. Immediately as that expires, we're going to be seeing an extra gas and an infestation pit going down for Elazer. Does seem like Elazer notices its mech now.
Oh, yeah, he is fully aware of the mech. The Roach one, you could argue, is maybe a little bit late, but it is on the way nonetheless. Because we have an overseer diving into the main base, confirming the mass amount of these factories. We have confirmation of the 4th CC as well, and we'll see how he responds to this. I mean, there are some players that rely heavily on Ling Bane, Roach Ravager. There are others that try to make some magic happen with Infestors, especially against this Ferrari mech style.
Fast Hive. Take notes, Poppy.
Let's go. Fast Hive, Poppy. At the same time, we do have a couple of lock-ons here. Queen's going to be able to force this back, though. Transfuses are on point. Up. Oh.
Queens are good. As we do see the extra scan going down at the natural. He's going to see that Roach one and sees the Roach speed researching as well. So should give him the signal he needs to get into that tank production. As we do see actually a lot of mines being started up. And this is something quite particular to Vindicta's mech. He does play mines a lot more heavily than a lot of people do.
Yeah, interesting. It is a little bit out of left field here, as we do see Vindicta trying his hardest to trade out with all of these queens. So do see 1 Cyclone going down for 4 of those queens. Hellions go down, but I mean, we can afford to lose Hellions. It is negligible, as Elazer is getting into the Mass Roach.
Do you see the entire mech army struggling to trade out with the macro support units?
Ay, mate. What else do you want, Poppy? The queen. Without the queen, what do we have? We have a little Ling Bane. That's what we have. We don't mind as though could catch him a little bit off guard. Elazer maybe even a little bit scarred from game number 1.
Yeah, quite an unusual way to go in. As we do see the Hive on the way, we do see that Spire being started up, and now it looks like Elazer very aware. He's just going to be splitting off a few of these lings here as he does charge on in, and this is a pretty hefty force for Vindicta to deal with here.
Yeah, it really is. Elazer has now maxed out on this Ling Bane Roach Ravager army. We see a Hive and a Spire behind this. We have detection to clear up all of these Widow Mines that they haven't really paid for themselves. Oh, once again, only a single Ling or two Lings going down.
Yeah, I do worry for Vindicta here. This is a very vulnerable moment. Does need to bring all of his forces over here to bear to defend right now.
Yeah, thankfully Vindicta is able to get a little bit of time here. Elazer was just, chilling at the bottom of that ramp, so he's able to keep up with this rotation. The rest of his army does end up moving into position.
And meanwhile, we see a beautifully timed Ghost transition coming out from Vindicta, getting that Academy, getting a few extra Raxes on the way, but he does need to hold this right now. Another good mine shot going down, is going to be evacuating here, has to drop back to these tanks. The tanks getting very good damage. All the Banelings have gone down, but not much of a strong backbone here to deal with the Roaches.
Yeah, we've got one tank remaining here, but the Roaches are going to be able to get on top of this. The Cyclones are doing what they can to try and get their lock-ons on these Roaches, but again, Elazer is breaking through.
Yeah, Laser's starting to break through. A lot of those tanks are going down. Does drop back to more of these tanks here, but Elazer going to continue to reinforce with Lings. Does have his Greater Spire on the way as well.
Oh, he really does. I mean, at least Vindicta hasn't lost too many workers. Only 9 workers did go down. We have Liberators coming in to help defend. No Ravagers to deal with this. And Vindicta does survive.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for Vindicta though here. He does need to catch wind of this Greater Spire. Needs to start getting that Thought count up. Needs to get the Ghosts on the way as well. Just Ghosts with this army, not quite going to cut it.
Yeah, exactly. He needs that scan at that natural desperately here. Ghosts are, an answer, but I mean, they're not the best answer on their own here. At least he's going to be a little bit active across the map. He sent his Hellions to just harass, trying to apply a little bit of pressure on these fresh bases. Meanwhile, Elazer just working on his bank, getting into his Corruptors, getting ready for the Broodlords.
Yeah, we just see these Hellions dancing back and forth. We have Adrenal on the way for Elazer. A lot of Ravages, a lot of Banes being morphed in. He does have that very high drone count up at 91. Vindicta going to be gearing up for this defense, but very heavy on the Cyclones and Hellions here. Probably wants to start to transition out of that kind of army in the near future.
Yeah, we'll see what he gets into. Meanwhile, Liberators are going to be piled down here by the Ravagers.
Huge mine shots going down on all of the Ling Bane, and that is going to push back Elazer for the moment.
Yeah, exactly. He's forced back. Meanwhile, Bailing's running in forward once again, getting on top of these Hellions, just barely taking them out. Oh, but Elazer can't quite push in and can't threaten that fourth.
Yeah, we see it right away. Those mines are being replaced. We see Burrow on the way for Elazer, as he is so fond of doing. There is a +1 flyer attacks on the way as well. This Liberator going to be routed out to start to get some harassment going. And yeah, Mig's definitely feeling the pressure to start to get a little bit, to start to get out on the map, clear out this creep, get some pressure of his own.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he's going to be doing. At the same time, Elazer's going to try and threaten the would-be 5th base that Vindicta is soon to take here on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, despite having the Greater Spire, we still don't have any Corruptors. We don't see Elazer transitioning yet. He's just slowly working for it, working towards it, getting up those upgrades.
Do you have this Liberator coming around? Actually, no drones here for it to harass it just yet. But yeah, Vindicta, he's got a long game ahead of him if he wants to take the win here.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, Elazer's going to be pushing on forward on the right-hand side. We've got a lot of tanks here, but they're quite exposed. There's nothing protecting them from the Ling Bane.
Yeah, really not much here to deal with the Banelings or the Ravagers. A lot of Banelings going down here. We do have the Hellions running in. The Ghosts are going to be able to come in, get some snipes on the Ravagers. They should be able to trade extremely well. Nice dodges on the Biles as well. So overall, some nice trading coming out from Vindicta, and might actually be able to start to push forward on this side.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was an unfortunate situation where the Hellion Cyclone was completely out of position for Vindicta, so he doesn't trade very well, losing 6 of those tanks in the end. But as you're saying, he's pushing on forward here, and can he get any damage done? This is a risky move. He is deep on creep.
Yeah, his Ghosts and Mines should be able to trade very nicely. We do see a bit of an Unburrow. Doesn't want to be wasting those shots on single Lings or on Queens. Meanwhile, he is starting to establish the gold with all of the presence that he has on the map. And this is a huge deal. If he can get this gold up and running, that could be a key to victory for him here. As we do see Elazer morphing and a lot more Banelings once again. He's just going to be smashing on in.
Exactly. At the same time, respraying that creep just barely on that receding creep. We do see Elazer once again trying to push in towards that 4th base. We don't have any more tanks to reinforce, so the Cyclones are getting caught out.
Yeah, these Cyclones way out of position. The Lings are going to be able to deal with them, so they are just being brought off to the side, trying to buy as much space for Vindicta as they can. And a lot of the army is going to be chasing them down, so the Ghost taking good trades over here. Cyclones just dragging all of these units with them. If they can take some efficient trades with the Banelings as well, that would be very nice for him. As yeah, he's buying himself so much time right now.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of Banelings do end up getting used on those Cyclones. The rest of Vindicta's army not too far behind, by the way. He wants to keep on pushing. He knows the Bane count isn't that high.
Yeah, so just looking at a skirmish here, getting those Ghost forward, getting those mines as well. He would love to get a nice big mine hit on the Lings and Banes. A few of these mines just being rallied out to their death, unfortunately. Maybe just queued up there, but these tanks taking a very nice position, and this base will be going down.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, Ling Runby is going to be able to harass this triangular third base. It looks like Vindicta has already prematurely evacuated. I think he just transferred them over towards the gold base instead, and he is not stopping. He's pushing them forward. A lot of Banelings are being morphed in, though.
Yeah, his Ghost a little bit deep on a creep. Some of these tanks are a little bit too close to each other, but the scan is going to protect him. Does have a very deep tank line coming in here as those Ghosts are poking forward a little bit to try to get some snipes on the Ravagers.
Oh, they are, but again, Vindicta has to make a choice here. Does he want to push towards the base or back off from here? His other fringe bases are looking very exposed. As I say that, Elazer is headed towards the gold.
Yeah, meanwhile for Vindicta, we are getting into those swords, is anticipating the Broodlord switch, is going into the nukes as well, so we'll have a lot more opportunity to get some extra harass going down as we just see that PF going down. Nice mine shots, and ooh, is he going to be able to protect these SCVs? Nice mine shot going down once again.
The borrowed Banelings, though, we still have two Banelings chasing those SCVs. It looks like they're going to be dragged once again into those Widow Mines, but when the SCVs turn around and go back to that gold base, will they be able to avoid those borrowed Banelings? At the same time, Elazer barely holding on to his fifth.
Yeah, big spread over here of those Banelings, of those Ravagers. We do see that nuke going down. A lot of Overseers being morphed in, and Elazer going to pull the trigger, trying to jump straight on in here. The tank's focus firing on the Banes. Is he going to be able to get a nice big mine shot on those Banes? No, the Overseer soaks that one up, and the tank line has been cleared out for Elazer.
Yeah, exactly. Vindicta forced all the way back. There's one more Widowmine shot here, but we have plenty of detection to deal with that. In the end, those Overseers are going to tank those shots. Meanwhile, the Ghosts, they were saved due to those medevacs, and they are still in the middle of the map.
Yeah, this is a beautiful style of mech coming out from Vindicta. He's being so active with his units, and all this activity is buying him the rune that he needs to get up his extra bases. I love this.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, when we have a little bit of Ling Run by, oh, they're going to get on top of this tank. Vindicta has to respond here. Oh, SCVs are going to be going down.
Yeah, these SCVs are going to get absolutely decimated when it comes to defending these Adrenal Lings. And this does give Elazer a little bit more space to set up. But yeah, Elazer, he's been on pretty much a 5-base economy this entire time. And he doesn't really have the biggest bank to make these Broodlords. He's definitely got a decent bank, don't get me wrong, but that could be just one big all-in fight away from being in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he can remake his army and make a wave of Broodlords, but it takes a long time to make Broodlords. And we're not quite easing our way in that direction. So Elazer has to be a little bit careful with how that happens. Meanwhile, yeah, thankfully, he wasn't looking at those Banelings at the time. Hellbat's morphed in, forcing a denial of the gold.
Yeah, quick cancel there. We do see the nukes starting to come down for Vindicta, so is doing a little bit of that trademark multi-prong. Looks like Elazer is vaguely aware of where it is going to be able to clean that one up there. Does buy himself a little bit of space as well.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the Roach army is able to reclaim control of the bottom left-hand corner. He really desperately wants that gold base. Actually going to be going for a bit of a run by. Instead, this is caught by that sensor tower, so Vindicta is going to be able to rotate and meet this army.
Yeah, throws down a scan just to get an eye on just how much is being committed over here. So we'll be splitting off some of his forces. Still has a drop up to the top right. We'll be actually moving some of these Thors around to try to deny that base.
Yeah, what's a little bit scary is that now we have Infestors, and enough time has passed where they do have enough energy for some of their spells. Going to be waiting for their moment to land those Fungals, to land those Neurals.
Yeah, Neural against the Ghost would be huge. We do see that Thor going down very quickly to the Lings as Vindicta is starting to reroute some of his units. He's going to be taking the space up to the top right as well. So yeah, Vindicta definitely in a fairly strong economic position as we see both maxed out armies just eyeing each other down across the map here.
Yeah, exactly. And depending on where the fight does happen, if Vindicta does win a fight, he can just kind of snowball things from there. Meanwhile, there we go. We do have our first Neural on that Thor.
Yeah, the neural has been revealed. The scan going down is going to be able to find those infestors, but Elazer doing a very good job protecting them. We do see some snipes going down. A lot of those infestors going down. Would love to see an EMP as well, just to take out the last little bit of the energy, as we are seeing a nuke just being used to zone out the army a little bit here. Doesn't really look like Elazer has enough to deal with what Vindicta has, but he's going for a counterattack on the bottom left.
Yeah, massive Veiling Rumba is going to be able to take down this planetary fortress. Meanwhile, the nuke is going to connect towards the northern portion of the map. Veilings do get those SEVs.
Oh, yeah, big connection with those SEVs. We see Vindicta dropping down to 40 SEVs here. Has been denied taking that base up in the top right-hand corner, and these ghosts are just going to have to jump on back here just to snipe out those roaches.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, this is what Elazer has been looking for, waiting for, to finally get that economic damage done. Unfortunately, Vindicta just didn't have enough in position to defend at the time, and Elazer just got rid of his Roach army, which is definitely a good thing. He's replacing that with Lings, though. Isn't getting into Corruptors yet.
Yeah, I mean, Alazer's buying himself a lot of space here. He's buying himself the time to get his economy up, and he does have a pretty nice bank going for him now. This is a nice move by Vindicta, getting those Hellbats on the base. Should even be able to get that base down if he's quick enough, as he does start to turret push through the central area here. Nice scan as well. Does get eyes on every infestor, so not going to be not going to be caught off guard by those.
Definitely, but I'm worried about this. We do have a massive Ling run by here in towards the natural base. Widowmine shots are going to be going off, and they're not going to be too bad, but 2 tanks are going to be going down. Thankfully, though, Vindicta reciprocates that damage. He gets 15 workers.
Yeah, a lot of workers going down. These Cyclones are going to be trapped by the Ravagers just being wedged on in. They're going to be going down, and this is a pretty scary moment for Vindicta here. Does find a nice tank position up here, and I'm not really sure what Elazer has to do with this. Elazer agrees, doesn't want to take that fight, so he's going to be going for the counterattack. Oh, very fortunate for Vindicta getting those SCVs out of there. That would have been disastrous to lose those.
Yeah, he does escape with his workers, but you know what? Elazer isn't done. He's going for another base. 11 SCVs going to be going down. The Banelings are trying to chase them down here. Can they get the connections?
Yeah, 14 SCVs going down. They will just take these connections here. One of those burrowing in there as well. Nasty little trick going up there as even more SCVs are being taken out. Does get the scan, so we'll be seeing that Baneling, but yeah, it's going to be getting very difficult to reinforce this army at the front. We just see the scan going down. Can he get the EMPs and snipes that he needs to deal with the infestors?
Oh my god, I don't think he can. He doesn't have the ghost count that he really needs here, and Elazer just completely picking Vindicta apart. His economy is in shambles. The army is all you see, is all you get, and it's going down.
Yeah, so close there. We see a big breath of relief and a fist pump for Elazer. He knows that was not an easy game for him.
Yeah, it wasn't easy at all. For so long, Vindicta had the economic advantage. You were pointing it out, where Elazer was on 5 bases compared to the 5 bases of Vindicta. But at a certain point, Vindicta, he just didn't really have too much supply dedicated to defending his fringe bases. Eventually, once that goal base fell, it kind of opened things up for Elazer to keep going for these run-bys, to keep going for these big committed Ling Bane Roach attacks. And he did barely have enough to defend against the main army whenever he went for them.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. Only just, but... Oof. Similar to how Team GP made Onside Sweat, I think we definitely made Liquid Sweat.
Yeah.
PattyMac taking a game off Clem, that is huge, and Vindicta taking a game off Elazer, and honestly getting very close to taking that second game as well.
Yeah, he was so close. You were talking about it. A very peculiar kind of mech from Vindicta. I haven't seen it before, where they're very Hellion Cyclone heavy, and then into Lib Mine, Ghost. It is very mobile. It makes plenty of sense why Vindicta would go for this, but also very unusual. We don't see it too often.
Yeah, I think it plays a lot more into his skill set of the constant harass, having the multi-prong going. We saw all throughout that game, he was able to split off the right amount of units to each different side to help deal with the army, but Elazer just going for these counterattacks at the right time, getting the connections with the SCVs that he needed, and all importantly, denying that gold. I think that was a really key moment for him, that he was able to deny that gold base.
Yeah, before it really got kind of saturated, before it really got established for Vindicta. So congratulations to Team Liquid. Well fought. It was a hard fought victory, I'm sure. But I'm also very proud of our Cranky Ducklings. Vindicta, Dolan, and PattyMac all did their best. They all fought their hardest. And yeah, I hope everyone was, or at least I was, very surprised and very happy with their performance.
Where's the music?
Where is it, Papi? Where is it? Gib. Gib.
No, we need our end credits music.
Oh my, there it is. Oh no, that's not it.
I mean, that'll do.
It's okay. Oh my god. But yeah, I hope everyone had a great time in the chats. Close series against Team Liquid, but so far our best showing, I believe. All the other matchups that we have had been a little bit more one-sided or a little bit more unlucky for our players. So yeah, really good showing.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, PattyMac took out Clem. That was crazy. That's sick.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, mate. It's pretty sick. Oh my god. Oh my god. So yeah. Just massive shout out to the Tip, the Brain, and the Shaft for all coming together and working as a team. Doesn't happen too often. But when it does happen, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Oh boy. So with that, we are going to be done here for tonight with World Team League for the time being. We are going to be back tomorrow though with some more StarCraft action. ANZ Champs qualifier number 2 is going to be in I believe in 8 hours. 8 hours and 20 minutes if I'm not mistaken. Oh boy. Are you going to be ready, Asher?
Probably not. Actually, I haven't signed up yet. I should probably.
Well, sign up, puppy. Sign up. So ANZ Champ qualifiers are going to be in 8 hours. So we're going to go to bed and wake up for that. Asher won't necessarily be casting that though because he's going to be playing. Yeah,
I'm going to be popping off. I'm going to be getting the win. I'm going to be smudging Dav with my Mac that I haven't practiced.
Oh my god, just don't smurge Star that puppy. Don't smurge him.
I'm definitely doing that.
No. So ANZ Champs tomorrow morning if you're interested, and tomorrow evening there is going to be day 3 of World Team League, but we will not be casting that because instead on Sunday evening we have another edition of OSC King of the Hill.
Yeah, so more of that King of the Hill action has been so fun in these last few weeks. So plenty of StarCraft on the horizon.
Yeah, plenty of StarCraft available. Even though we won't be covering World Team League, I'm sure Wardy will be there to bring you some of that English WTL action. So do not fret, do not worry. He's got you covered with that coverage. Meanwhile, I know it's been a pretty busy weekend, but Asher,
yeah,
are we gonna have some Terran streams?
Yeah, maybe I'll stream my games tomorrow. Maybe. No guarantees.
No guarantees. But if you do, where's it gonna be?
Twitch TV / AsherBro. And if we want to find any Zerg smoging, sadness, depression, -20.
Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. You can follow me there if you are interested. I do stream throughout the week, just not the weekends, because we're quite busy here with our broadcasting schedule. I also don't think I'm going to be I'm not going to be streaming on Monday or Tuesday because we do have ANZ Champs Group A, I believe. Group A or Group B. One of the groups is going to be during the week. I wasn't quite expecting that, but that does
sooner
mean
than I thought. Yeah,
it is sooner than I thought as well. So I'm going to have to be there in person. Oh boy,
you have to go outside.
I'm going to get sick.
I don't think you can take getting sick again. I think this is the end of life.
It's gonna be the end, puppy. It's how I go down. At least I go down doing what I love. As of course, I'm gonna be casting live from the Sydney ESL studio. I'm gonna be there with people like casters like Zeph, casters like Pilsky. I think even Maynard and Pig are gonna be involved. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. Nice. And Fluke will be there as well as our lovely host.
Beautiful. Looking forward to it.
I look forward to it as well. I'm a little bit nervous. It's been a long time since, I ventured out into the wilderness, into the outside world.
And it didn't go well last time.
It didn't go well. It almost killed me, Poppy. Oh boy, so wish me the best of luck as we are going to be getting into that. But otherwise, if you are a fan of the Cranky Ducklings, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. We are all over the place. We got to get into our Discord server as we do post whenever we go live on our social medias as well. And check out our YouTube channel as we upload almost on a daily basis our VODs that we do cover. So, if you're interested in AZ Champs, but you're not going to be able to be awake in time because maybe you're in Europe and it's at a bad time for European viewers, then check out those VODs. We got you covered.
Yeah, it's a bad time for me. I'll be checking out the VODs.
Shit, animal.
Beautiful.
God. Yeah. With that, also massive shout out to Kuro, as Kuro has been handling the production tonight, just making sure the stream runs smoothly. And Asher, anything you want to say before we head off for the night?
In the shaft we trust.
In the shaft, Poppy, in the shaft. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you guys in 8 hours for some more StarCraft.
Bye-bye.